Hello again, and here we are on Gate 40. So it is the Gate of Aloneness, and it's also about deliverance. So the 40th gate is here in the bonding, and this 40th gate sits in the heart center or the ego center, as you see here in the body graph. So this is actually supposed to say the will or lack of will to provide for the needy. This is an interesting description for me. I have the 40th gate. Actually, this is my design right here. This is my heart in my body graph. And when you look at the PHS and rave psychology of my particular chart, I'm here to be motivated by what people want. The moment there is neediness, I completely move away from it. I'm not into, my design just doesn't respond to, well, it does, it responds by moving away, but it doesn't engage in neediness. And if the need is being used correctly in their design, different story, because it sounds different. But people that are needy, and I know that they're living through not self, just I can tell in the tone of it. My entire response of my body graph and my body is to move away from that needy piece. So Ra always called this gate the gate of denial. It is it's going to deny its commitment or its willpower, or not, or it will deliver. So it's either denial or deliverance. And I can totally see that in my design. I either, when the sacral says yes and I move forward, I can deliver. I can deliver whatever I need to for my tribe. If there's a no, it's full denial. It's full denial. So separating oneself from the tribe creates individualism. So that aloneness, no matter how big or small the crowd is, I have a sense of being alone in that crowd. It's just how it is. And when I'm immersed in that, in large or small groups, what's really interesting is to watch how I sit back and I really watch. Very seldom do I actually interact. Sounds a little crazy, but I more so watch and step out of that dynamic. So it goes from, interdependence, being dependent on the tribe, to independence is what this 40th gate does. And it really is the love of work. And when you love your work, you can deliver to the promise. So, once my sacral center is engaged, the root center provides me with the fuel to step into the cycle. My sacral center says, and usually it's already moving my body up into manifestation. I can then completely deliver on my promise. But when I'm doing something through not self, I can't deliver on any promises. And I've watched that in my past. I'm not perfect. The not self still chatters, but it's getting easier to, put the mind into a alpha and then theta state, and drop into those two states. And when I do that, plainly the sacral center is just guiding the motion. But if I'm in beta and I am wound up as tight as a top, I totally can see how the not self wants to run the show. So again, it's just being a witness to it and watching it. And then just being able to decipher response from reaction. Reaction comes from the not self mind, and reaction is a part of the mind. And the response is a part of the physiology of the body. So huge difference. So what's going to happen here when this is undefined? Well, first off, the heart center, when it's undefined, is trying so hard to prove itself, trying so hard to commit all the time, making promises and then pushing through. And then, of course, the 40th gate not being there, trying to deliver, going into this deliverance that absolutely exhausts you. And again, when we're in our not self, the dis-ease happens because the body is tensing up, and it's like, what the hell is this crazy ass mind going to bring me into now? And not always, but for the most part, the openness allows for the dis-ease to then come into where we are defined in the body graph. So the 40th gate is actually the stomach. So paying attention to what is happening in the stomach area when we're allowing for not self to run our lives. So if it's defined and you're running through the not self, the stomach is there's gonna be issues with the stomach. And then if you're running through not self and putting a ton of pressure on this openness, also through that openness, right, we can feel that illness happening there in the stomach. So the dis-ease can happen both ways. And what I find is that when the heart center or the ego center is undefined, that's one place where it's really fascinating to watch how the dis-ease actually stays there. It doesn't actually move into other parts of the body graph. So just watch this, pay attention. We're fascinating beings, really fascinating beings. And really, we are quantum computers. And we are decoding the information that is flowing to us continuously all day long. So why not use our strength and move from there? Why not use our strategy and authority and move from there? Why not trust ourselves? I don't know why we don't do that. I don't understand what happened in humanity to switch us. And it's really all about that conformity, because that conformity keeps people weak. It keeps people in a state of dis-ease. And then all of a sudden, through that dis-ease, we rely more on the unhealthy aspects of our world. And it's sad, very sad, but it is what it is. So what design is saying is, let's completely turn this right on its head and go, no more working through the not self and pushing ourselves to get better at our weaknesses. No, let's drop into the true self and trust that strategy and authority to move us. If anything in design intrigues you and you want to move forward, let me know. There's so many avenues in human design to move you into, through, inform you. Man, it's crazy. But thank you very much for watching.